My aspirations as mayor of the city of North Charleston have been constant: to improve the quality of life for our citizens. We've made great strides by attentively listening to our citizens, moving forward with community guidance in concert with broad coalitions. The road of progress is long, but together we will keep moving forward. As mayor, I am proud to have seen our diverse city transform into a progressive, welcoming hub full of community assets. We have created a sense of place in North Charleston where recreational and cultural amenities abound. Our economy is strong, unemployment is low, and the city is financially stable. There is no doubt growing pains come with success. However, we continue to adapt while protecting what makes North Charleston special, its people. In 2020 and beyond, we're dedicated to the goals of sustainable growth and resiliency, economic opportunity, increased livability and quality of life, and improved mobility options for all. The public's demands are inspiring, and the ability to meet these needs of our residents take priority. In recreation alone, we boast one of the state's best programs with facilities to match. Once activated, we knew our senior centers would be popular, but we could not have guessed the overwhelming response from our active adults. Today, the program stands at approximately 2,600 members and growing. We're not done yet. By 2023, we hope to add 2 additional senior centers, one on Upper Dorchester Road, we're exploring possible sites now, and the other at the former tank farm in Chicora, Cherokee. From our youth sports to our senior centers, everyone has access to fun, healthy, and affordable recreational activities. When we build in North Charleston, we only build world class. The now open North Charleston Athletic Center was born from the advice of a grandmother. It was evident that our young athletes were being left out of tournaments and travel competitions, enabling our athletes to ascend to the next level. More than a basketball facility, dance competitions have been hosted. Pickleballers have the facility in high demand. Volleyball competitions are coming and more. Overall, community response has been great, confirming a need is being met. This past week, we had 90 teams from North Charleston, all children, playing in one weekend in that center. The Aquatic Center will soon open and bring to fruition a great regional partnership with Dorchester School District 2. With joint funding, this natatorium will continue our quest to provide swim education to all children of North Charleston, as we've done for years at the Danny Jones Pool, while enabling us to house national competitions. In addition, the Liberty Hill neighborhood will soon have a completely renovated pool, extending educational and recreational opportunities for the public. We're not just building facilities. We're building gathering places to congregate, socialize, and prosper for community strengthening. Investing in people is investing in our future. These public spaces enhance the character, design, and identity of our neighborhoods and our corridors. Smaller scale investments like Wayland Park and Ellis Park make a difference. The ability for our kids to walk to public access for recreation is always our ambition. Another expansion of our park and recreation system could be on the horizon with the prospect of a large sports complex near Palmetto Commerce Parkway. It's a fledgling project bound to come to fruition. For years, the city has purchased land along Noisette Creek, utilizing Charleston County Greenbelt funds with the vision of a blueway in mind, an integrated creekside park made of walking trails and boardwalks to connect Rivers Avenue to Riverfront Park, again providing better access to our parks, especially our Premier Park. Finally, with land secured, we'll be moving this project into the planning phase over the next year. Having this rich natural amenity within our urban core is a true gem. The growth of North Charleston is inevitable. Our metro region is following a national trend. The country is urbanizing. People are moving to employment centers to have amenities in convenient proximity. And as the economic powerhouse of the state, North Charleston sufficiently qualifies. To keep up, We continue to ensure growth and development are well planned to simultaneously conserve resources, improve environmental outcomes, and have the flexibility to recover from unforeseen stressors. The success of our region strains housing, lessening availability, leading to increased costs. While North Charleston remains largely workforce and affordable housing, prices continue to creep upwards. Ensuring options are available to every income level is a focus of the city. No city has found a silver bullet to fix housing affordability, so we're looking at all of the above approach. We're expanding our opportunities by making public land available, looking at ways to encourage reuse of abandoned property, and exploring zoning options to increase density where appropriate. In addition, working with partners like Metanoia, Lamsey, Palmetto Community Action Partnership, and others, our citizens are attaining housing. We must keep pushing forward on this front, but at least everyone is pushing in the right direction. A population increase and more housing means an increased demand on our internationally accredited fire department. The nearly 22,000 emergency calls for service are proof alone, but through training and fire prevention, the fire personnel have proven up to the task, and our Class 1 ISO rating reflects just that. The demands of growth are most visible in our city's infrastructure. We are meeting the needs of the existing and future population through coordination of land use planning and infrastructure improvements. Currently, there are $2.7 billion of planned transportation improvements in North Charleston. We will be awash in orange cones for a time, but congestion relief is in the near future. Palmetto Commerce Parkway 3 will provide an additional east-west connection for commutes, a new interstate interchange between Ashley Phosphate and Highway 78 will provide congestion relief to Ashley Phosphate. Dorchester Road will be widened in Charleston County to the county line. A new airport corridor road will be built, and 526 will be widened, and the interchanges will be enhanced for better flow, chiefly the 526-26 interchange. We will continue to push the South Carolina State Ports Authority to fully fund the 3 overpasses, which they promised to construct in a signed and binding agreement. We must all insist that this state agency live up to its contractual word. These overpasses would provide relief from the ever-present rail traffic on rivers just south of Remount, on rivers at Durant, and on North Red at 526. We keenly understand the expanded mobility options are key in an all-around effort to conveniently connect residents and visitors with employment, shopping, educational, and activity centers. The options must be safe and efficient to maximize their success. Low Country Rapid Transit, the largest and first mass transit solution for our region, will impact North Charleston the greatest. The system will transform Rivers Avenue as we know it, enhancing Carter's most heavily used bus route, allowing for riders to reach their destination quicker while utilizing modern stations and new buses. In addition, improvements will be made for a much safer walking and biking experience. It is incumbent upon the city to ensure that existing businesses and vehicular movements along the corridor are not overly impacted in a negative manner. To this point, the Council of Governments is undergoing an extensive planning study to evaluate land use along the corridor. From a land use perspective, we are supporting transit by promoting compact, walkable, mixed-use developments along major commercial corridors. We're also exploring the implementation of meaningful transit-oriented development zoning to support low-country rapid transit in hopes of increased livability and economic development along the line. Overall, North Charleston is ripe for infill development, but we must insist on future development being connected with mobility and affordability in mind. We must support infill where appropriate or sprawl will continue further out in our region, adversely affecting traffic, our infrastructure, and our quality of life. Enhancing walkability and safe biking access is a must. We've asked South Carolina DOT to turn over ownership of Spruill and Reynolds Avenues so mobility improvements can be made. We're also working with Charleston Moves and Charleston County on the feasibility of a safe pedestrian and bikeway crossing on the North Bridge into West Ashley. Making this connection is necessary. Today, the pedestrians and bikers who make this trek are putting their lives at risk. I'm confident a regional solution can be found. An infill area to spotlight is the former naval base. The recently acquired property on the north end of the base is undergoing master planning. North Charleston has always been surrounded by water, but outside of Riverfront Park, there is limited public access. Over the coming year, we hope to unveil a plan for a new high-density, mixed-use development along the Cooper River, with a range of green space and public access to the waterfront. In progress is an already funded pedestrian bridge to connect the existing Riverfront Park to the north side of Noisette Creek, connecting park space to future housing, shopping, and businesses. A construction start is quite some time away, but the ball is moving in the right direction. Complementing this new development is the ongoing work to the historic Navy Officers Housing District, adjacent to Riverfront Park. Several of the quarters have already been refurbished, and the largest project, the Admiral's House, currently underway. This grand renovation will finally put back in use one of the most majestic and historical structures in North Charleston. Eventually, we'll see the private sale and restoration of many of the quarters with strict and sensitive historical guidelines within the housing area. As regional growth continues, resiliency is top of mind for us to maintain a balance between the natural and built environment, to alleviate the effects of growth on the natural environment and quality of life. To combat this increased stormwater demand, and in addition to the 100 miles of open drainage the city maintains, projects are ongoing around the city. In total, 18 drainage improvement projects are underway throughout the city of North Charleston. It is our goal for those improvements to meet our stormwater demands for decades to come. The city has initiated a resiliency committee to address challenges associated with flooding in the city. As part of the initiative, the city is preparing a flood and climate adaptation plan focused on the impact of potential future flooding on existing and future infrastructure and development. The intent of this plan is to consider the hazards of property and infrastructure presented by extreme rain events and increased flooding during normal rain events, with consideration given to potential future sea level rise. The plan will provide recommendations to mitigate these hazards over a 25-year planning horizon. Under the leadership of Chief Reggie Burgess, the police department has been laser-focused on building community trust and reducing crimes. Safer neighborhoods arise through collaborative efforts with our residents, and police work relies upon the eyes and ears of the citizens of our community. Implementation of successful programs have seen great results. In direct engagement with the community leaders, the RECAP program was launched for officers to join up with residents to walk the streets on nights and weekends. Being visible, talking to individuals to let the potential wrongdoers know the community cares and is watching. To ensure officers are well acquainted with the community they serve, the department's immersion program was established to provide officers a better understanding of the background and history of the residents they serve. All new officers are required to attend this cultural awareness training. Members of the department have also received diversity training through the Racial Equity Institute. Hard police work is still taking place, taking guns and drugs off the streets. In 2019 alone, over 300 unlawfully carried firearms were seized. Residents can help keep guns off the streets, too, by simply not leaving your firearms in your vehicles at night. Last year, over 800 unlocked cars were broken into and 100 guns were stolen from those cars. At a time when departments around the country lack sufficient personnel, the North Charleston Police Department stands fully staffed, which speaks volumes of the quality of our department. Well done. Imperative to a high standard of living is high-quality education, and in North Charleston, many parents seek alternatives due to the school district's track record lacking success. However, the city is doing its part. There is no mandate for a city in South Carolina to fund programming in schools, but we felt it necessary to ensure every student has access to arts and after-school educational opportunities. Cultural Arts coordinated 109 workshops and 520 arts enrichment experiences in 2019. And our Recreation Department provided a structured and safe environment for students operating 14 after-school programs. Working with programs like Kaleidoscope and 21st Century Programming, the educational experience is extended well past the closing bell. We pushed successfully for the creation of the Creative Arts Elementary School to act as a feeder program to the School of the Arts. And we've seen Meeting Street Academy at Brentwood achieve great results within a neighborhood school with expansions from Brentwood to Burns. We hope to see the school district expand this programming to a middle school. Meeting Street's approach to education is working and making a difference. We aren't just working with the mentioned schools, but we're working to improve the entire educational experience in North Charleston. Partnering with Metanoia and Allegro School of Music, the Old Chicora Elementary School will be reactivated. The vacant space will soon house an early childhood educational center, a performing arts center, and artist studios for our community. Better than ever before, we are preparing our young adults to meet the demands of our modern economy. The Aeronautical Training Center at Trident Tech is second to none and provides a consistent pipeline for modern, high-tech jobs. In September, the North Charleston Center for Advanced Studies will begin offering a curriculum parallel to their high school courses to prepare our students for jobs in STEM fields, manufacturing, IT, health sciences, and more. The ability to go straight from high school to a great paying career is significant to today's economy. North Charleston unquestionably supports a vibrant and diversified economic climate that provides employment, retains existing businesses, and attracts new businesses. We're fortunate to have large international companies in North Charleston, as we remain the only city in the world to produce wide-body airplanes and commercial automobiles. However, small business is the cornerstone of our economy. The entrepreneurial spirit is high in North Charleston, and for the last 25 years, our economy has flourished, fueled by those willing to invest in our community. Being the economic hub of the state, we have always thought that commercial, industrial, and residential could coexist if there is mutual respect. However, more and more, North Charleston seems to bear the burden of the state's desires. For instance, we're faced with a port reluctant to live up to its obligations to our citizens. The state exercised eminent domain for a rail yard with future impacts unknown, both of which lie in the south end of North Charleston. There's no doubt we'll see truck and rail traffic, but this city will continue to fight to mitigate negative impacts. We're committed to prevailing no matter the odds. In North Charleston, we retain a small town mindset where folks care for their neighbors. I never want to lose our blue-collar roots, but as the region grows, with more and more in-migration occurs, change will continue. The slow-paced North Charleston is becoming a thought of yesteryear. Growth is inevitable, and the city stands ready to adapt, advocate, and provide the necessary services for all to flourish. Let us move into the new year while always trusting in what makes North Charleston great: our diversity, recreational and cultural amenities, affordable housing options, and strong economy, our financial stability, and most importantly, our people. Here in the city of North Charleston, our employees and your city council work hard on your behalf with overarching goal of making this world a better place than we found it. Let us all come together as one, celebrate what makes us special, and progress collectively. Good night, and God bless.